I'm back in this bitch. I'm back in this bitch.
What's the class that you got to? What's the class that you got to F in, bro? Whether it be gym or you didn't, or whether it be a regular class, like a history class or some shit. Because I also got to F in biology, but that's another story.
Oh, that segues perfectly into my biased teacher story. So in the ninth grade, I had moved back to Detroit for a second. And I'm going to Old Redford Academy and shit. This is the same school where the Latasha story and everything. I had this teacher named Ms. Roberts. Nigga, she was terrible. Like she clear cut played favorites. Not even like I can't even say that. She just did not fucking like me for shit. Like from day one. Like I don't know what it was, bro. I don't know what it was. She just did not like me whatsoever. Like the first day, she was the type of teacher to where if you didn't know something in her class, she would make it evident to the rest of the class. Like, okay, this nigga don't know what he's talking about.
Oh,
you know what I'm
really?
saying? Yeah, like she would try to embarrass you and shit. And it wasn't even like I didn't even know anything. Like I just didn't fucking I didn't fuck with her whatsoever. So the very first day we got off on the wrong foot. She was asking people to, like tell everybody about themselves. And I told her straight up, I was like, I mean, I don't really do much. I go home, I play video games. If I got homework, I'll try to do the homework. And I guess by me saying I'll try to do homework, she already was like, okay, he gonna be one of them. Like, I'm like, bro, what the? So she says,
oh, no, was she a black? Bro, this a black teacher?
It was definitely a black teacher.
Okay, yeah, I was about to say she sounds sassy as hell. This had to have been a black woman.
Hell yeah, she was. She was funny enough, she was one of them finance teachers that had she had the big fucking DSL lips, dick sucking lips, and the fucking she had a fat ass and everything. It was like, yeah, okay. Like everyone had a crush on her in the school and shit. And I think she was gay with another teacher named Miss Nadia and shit. So
nigga,
I don't know.
Let me go to Over for the Academy to see if she still worked there then.
Nah, hell no, she don't work there no more. Hell no.
She saw her on the hub?
No, shit, I wish. Shit, if you gonna be on the hook, man, I ain't gonna incriminate myself. Matter of fact, oh shit. But yeah, she was terrible. It was a couple of classes after that where I found that out. Like, I had definitely seen how biased she was because I like to read. Like, I like to read. So there was a book that we was all reading in class, it was a book that we was all reading because this is English class, mind you. So, or English literature. So we're all reading this fucking, I forget what the book is called. I believe it's called To Kill a Mockingbird, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Jill and Scott and whatever fuck. Yeah. So we reading the book and shit, and I'm waiting for my turn. Like I'm trying to read and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to read about Jim and all them motherfuckers. So I evidently raise my I go to her and be like, can I read today? Like, I'm trying to read. I'm trying to read. You know what I'm saying? Like, she would pick literally everyone but me. Now, there was the days where I didn't hit her up, or the days I didn't go up to her. She would pick literally somebody right next to me, making it seem like. But the way she picked them, right? The way she picked them. This is how she picked them. She had this hacky sack. She had tossed the hacky sack. So she'll toss the hacky sack. Man, this don't even sound like ninth grade. It sound like motherfucking. It sound like elementary school down here.
Like, I thought you was about to say. I already thought you was about to say some shit like she had everybody's name on some chopsticks, and that's how she chose who read. And she was conveniently pulling everybody's name but yours.
Right. On some.
She might took your shit out the container actually.
Right. Snap my shit in half, or she probably pulled it out and then sneeze, act like she was sneezing and put that shit back and pull somebody else's shit. But she threw the hacky sack one day and she had threw it and I caught it.
I thought you were about to say you lost that bitch for somebody. Like she threw it to somebody else.
No,
give me that.
She tossed it, like she lobbed it high as hell, but it was in my direction. So I had caught it. And mind you, I got long arms. So I caught this shit. She was like, because you know that wasn't going to you. throw that back to me. Like, she was giving me attitude. She was like, throw that shit right back to me. No, she didn't say shit. She didn't say shit, but she said, throw that right back to me. So I threw it back to her. I'm like, the fuck, nigga? So
that was,
was
the perfect
like,
time
okay.
for you to segue into like saying some shit to where you could have got her number. You was like, you need to throw that ass back to me. That was the perfect time to say that.
I want to try to get expelled, man. So I threw it back. Now here's my thing, right? Here's the crazy part. Here's where I like really drove the nail in the coffin, right? So I threw it back to her. She threw it again in my direction. I caught it again. She was like, she said. So she looked like pissed off. So she put her hands on her hips. The universal telltale sign that you pissed a woman off. She put her hands on her hips, or she just give you that stare. So she put her hands on her hips, and she was looking at me for like a smooth 5 seconds, and the whole class was silent, and a couple niggas was laughing. I'm looking around. I'm like, did I do something wrong? I knew exactly what I did. She talking about some like, you know, she was like, do I need to suspend you? Do you want detention? What is it? What do you want? I was like, because you know it wasn't going to you. Are you stupid? Now I'm not capping on that part. She called me stupid. She was like, are you stupid? So I said, you need to chill out. She was like, oh, what did you say? So she kicked me out of class, told me to go to the fucking detention.
Could you say chill out?
Because I said, because I talked back to her, but she called me stupid. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, bro. All right. I left class. She didn't give me detention, but she had talked to the guidance counselor and told her what I said to her. And then she was like, we're just giving you a verbal warning. Next time you talk back to your teacher. I told the guidance counselor, I said, this, like, what the fuck? She called me stupid. Like, what the fuck? I'm like, she called me like a grown ass woman just called a teenage boy stupid just because I caught a fucking hacky sack a second time. So the guidance counselor, when I told her that the fucking Miss Roberts called me stupid, she was like, I mean, but you weren't supposed to catch the hacky sack. I said, but does that warrant calling somebody fucking dumb?
Right.
Like, what the hell? It don't matter what.
And even then, stupid is not even the right word for that. They could have called you childish or immature. Why'd she say stupid?
Yeah, like stupid, and then you protected her. Like you really on her side. It don't matter. A teacher could slap the fuck out of you and beat your ass. The staff is gonna be on the teacher side no matter what. It don't matter, bro. They be with the teachers, and sadly enough, some parents will believe you the one that triggered that ass beating. Like they won't even protect you. Some parents will be like, I mean, you did something to that teacher to where
she reacted like that.
Yeah. School was tough, boy. But a little after that, right? I'm in Miss Nadia's class or Miss Nidia. I'm trying to remember her. I don't have to remember her name, but she was, mind you, like I said before, this was the teacher that Miss Roberts was supposedly gay with because she had said some like obviously sus shit to her. She had said they were saying what they liked about each other one day, and they were looking into each other's eyes, and then she had said, "I like your toes." And I'm like, "Oh no, oh my god." I'm shit.
I already know that was the joke amongst the students. Like Miss Nadia and Miss Roberts
was. Hell yeah, it was. It was actually a fucking because Miss Nadia was fine as shit too. They were both fine as hell, but Miss Nadia was Miss Nadia had found a student, one of the students, his nigga name was Leroy, was flirting with her on there. Miss Nadia had pulled up the fucking or had addressed it in class. It was like, can't flirt with me. I'm a grown woman. It's flattering, but you can't say stuff like that to me. I'm like, it's flattering. What the fuck? These teachers would fuck the students if they was old enough, bro. I'm in my head. I'm like, why would you tell this man that it's flattering? Because you know he's gonna do this with somebody else your age. So them teachers and their boy, I ain't gonna lie to you. Someone's probably slid on them shit. Because Miss Roberts, mind you, when she was in Miss Nadia's class, she was because I was doing a little bit better in Miss Roberts' class. She said this verbatim. She was saying who she liked. Like she was saying, "Oh, I like her. Oh, I like her." She was saying specific student that she liked, and then she got to me and she said, "Oh, I like Corey now. I used to hate Corey." I'm like, "What?" I was hearing this. He's admitting to fucking being biased right now.
Right.
So everyone's like laughing and shit. Like it was like, "Oh, they hate." Mind you, I'm the class clown and shit. So I'm like, okay, all right. You know what I'm saying? We're just gonna let that slide, I guess, right? The next day, I forgot to bring a book to her class, and she told me to leave class because I forgot the book.
What the heck?
And
Like leave to go get
me.
out your locker, or what you mean like get out my class type shit?
She didn't want me to get it. Like I told her that I left it in my locker and shit. And she told me to get out her class and wait to get suspended. And wait at the fucking
because
office
you forgot
to
a
get suspended.
Book? What kind of teacher is this?
Because okay, look. Because here's the crazy part. I seen someone else leaving her class to go to their fucking locker. And they went to get their fucking book. And they went right back into the classroom. I'm sitting there like, nigga, why couldn't I do the same shit? I got suspended for having my shit in my locker. But this nigga named Jalen, that's who went to get his shit. Went right back in there. I'm asking Jalen. I'm waiting for class to end because when class ended, she didn't come right out to come right to the office to suspend me. But I hit up Jalen. I'm like Jalen, come over here, bro. I'm like, so me and Jalen talking about it. I'm like, nigga, like, did you go to get your? Like, she told you can go get your book. She was like, yeah. And he said him and like a couple of niggas was laughing about it because she was talking shit about me. And shit, I'm like, a grown ass woman is talking shit behind my back, my back, the student's back, talking about some that nigga stupid as hell, that nigga Corey dumb as shit. I'm not letting that nigga back here. So I'm like, she made my life a living hell, and she called my dad for every fucking reason. There was like a thing where the teachers could meet up with the parents of the students, and I had my dad there. She literally got up out her seat to come over to my dad to be like, I want to talk to you guys first. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? She didn't do that with no one else. She did that shit with me. She was like, I want to talk to you guys first. She's saying shit that I never even thought she had a problem with me about. She was like, Corey shows up to class late. I was tardy to her class one fucking time. I was never late to her fucking class. She was like, Corey's always late to my class, and when he does get there, he's a big distraction. He sits next to he's the reason why it was these two girls in my class named Audrey and Audrey and I think her name was Kendra.
She was essentially blaming you for our Audrey and Kendra don't be paying attention.
Yeah, because they be laughing. Because I when I do be talking to them, they do be laughing. Like I made them laugh. Funny, Audrey, she had a big ass crush on Drake. She said I looked like Drake, and she had a big ass crush on Drake. I'm like, oh shit, what you trying to do then? Shit, I ain't Drake, but shit, you know what I'm saying? Audrey was a straight A student, so she thought that I was distracting Audrey from whatever. So in my head, I'm like, why was this never addressed to me personally? Why are you telling my dad this? Like, he gives a fuck that I'm disturbing the students in class that he don't fucking know. Like, why are you telling him? Like, my dad didn't give a shit either. My dad was literally just sitting here. My dad was literally sitting like, as soon as we were done talking to her, my dad was like, that woman was fine as fuck. I'm trying to see if she's single. So my dad didn't give a shit what she was talking about. So like, again, she was talking about some he's always late to my class. He's making my two brighter students get them distracted. He doesn't pay attention when I tell him certain instructions. I've had to kick him out of class multiple times for the simplest things. Even offering to put me in a fucking a remedial class. I'm like, that was the line crossed right there. I'm like, I'm not fucking dumb because I'm not.
I'm sorry,
because the fuck, it's not funny. I mean, it's funny. You can laugh. I ain't sensitive about it, but I'm thinking in my head because this all would have made sense if I was failing her class. Nigga, I had a fucking 89% at that point when we were talking. I had a damn near an A when we were talking about it. Because there was about 32 people in her class. No. It was 22 people in her class. And 7 of them niggas were failing. One nigga had a 14% class. I shit you not.
God damn, bro. He not even trying.
He didn't give a fuck. No, he dead assy. When we were doing the reading, that nigga would be like, I ain't trying to read, bro. Talking about some he made up some shit talking about something he can't read, which I was starting to believe for a second. But
Well, you know what's crazy about that, bro?
Because
back in my high school, we used to have I don't know if your high school did this, but they used to have this thing where they would put like they would put the students' grades like on the wall in the back of the class, and they would update them at the end of every week or some shit. But they wouldn't put the students' names; they would just put your ID number, so you knew who you were if you knew your ID number. But this is what all the ignorant niggas used to do. Niggas would go to the back of the class and look at the list of student grades, and they'll be like, "Damn, which one of y'all niggas' ID number is 942?" But y'all niggas dumb as hell. Y'all got a 60%. Hey, bro, who ID number is 657? Like, y'all niggas stupid.
You know, it's funny. That shit happened at a school I went to in Georgia, but when they said, because I remember my number was 133-27273. So I remember somebody called out my exact number. Now, what was fucked up was your ID number was on your locker. They had your ID number was on your locker, and you had to use your ID to like swipe, so to use for lunch and shit. So I remember one time, like, you gotta be sly going to your locker knowing that your ID number on there because niggas be looking at your grades and shit. But I remember the nigga that called out my grades that followed me to my fucking locker. He was like, "Oh, you was a nigga with the 65%." I said,
"Oh no."
I want to beat his ass so fucking bad. I'm like, so I'm looking back. I'm like, you really follow me to confirm that I had a 65? And he was laughing. He's talking about some, yeah, bro. It was like, how do you have a 65? I said, nigga, how are you a virgin? Get the fuck out my face, bitch ass nigga. Fucking nigga, pussy nigga. Like, nigga, like, what the fuck? Like, we in school. I didn't try harder. I didn't try as hard as you did. Funny enough, he was talking all that shit. He had a fucking lower grade than me. The nigga had a 40-8 in that fucking class.
I know that nigga.
Like, how are you making? I'm like, how are you making fun of anybody? But back to Miss Roberts, bro. That whole little fucking press conference that she tried to start with my dad and shit. My dad didn't even give a fuck. And then after that, I passed her class. I only had her class for that semester. Like, you have certain classes for 2 semesters, and then you change over and you get to a whole different set, or you keep the same teacher depending on the core what's the name elective that you had. So the freshmen didn't have gym or anything like that. I wish, but I had to take Spanish. And funny enough, from that English class that I left, I literally went over to, I'm trying to remember, because the fucked up part about it was Miss Roberts wound up switching over to the fucking other class that I switched to. I got out of Miss Roberts' class, and she was assigned to a whole new fucking subject, and that was the new class I was in. I said, I can't get away from this bitch. God damn. I'm thinking, bro, when I went to that class, I'm like, fucking new beginnings. I could start over. Let's go.
I sit down. I see mortal enemy.
Yeah, bro. I'm like, I come into the class. I see her. I'm like, nigga. But I mean, that time around, she was actually chill. Like, she didn't, like, she seemingly didn't give a fuck around that time. She kept on having like arguments with her fucking boyfriend, I guess, on the phone outside of the class. I'm like, the school was so weird, bro.